Yeah, Craig. Thanks very much for joining me in Bubble Talk, and we're here to discuss the massive fight that is this Saturday. You've been involved in a couple of camps with Volkanovski now, but really, before we get into the camp talk, there's a moment in everyone's life where they have an experience that changes their philosophy.
This could be it.
This could be it. Exactly. Certainly, if the hands start to wander, but it's for some people it's religion, but for you, I think it's become clear. Like, when did it become apparent to you that Sambo was not important or real or justifiable in any way?
I mean, it's been known for many years in the pure grappling world. Sambo is just a myth. Sambo is kind of like Steven Seagal with aikido.
Okay.
People talk about it, they laugh about it, they enjoy the funny outfit, but at the end of the day, in pure grappling matches, Sambo might have 0 wins. One championship tried to do it. They were like, oh, let's tap into Sambo versus Jiu-Jitsu, and it just keeps resulting in Sambo guys getting their legs broken. Right. And they do get it broken because for some strange reason, people from Eastern Europe think they can be injured and magically heal somehow. I don't know if there's something they're doing that we're not doing,
right?
But they heal very quickly.
So think maybe good nutrition or something?
Good nutrition, good hydration as well.
Okay. Well, it's always, I mean, we were discussing earlier how important it is to hydrate, and especially when you're hot climates and stuff like that, you really want to get that in any way you can. Interestingly, I think when it's a fight this big, it's so exciting, it's new, it almost like it gets right in your veins. So you're taking it intravenously or something. It's just, it makes you so excited and so happy to be here. Have you felt that being on the ground in Abu Dhabi?
For sure. It's almost like you cannot hydrate enough just being on the ground here. When I am in Abu Dhabi, I walk outside for 30 seconds. I feel like I need something more than a Gatorade.
Yeah, like electrolyte or any sort of drink like that, but just with as many nutritions and stuff just straight to your system. Volkanovski's obviously made no secret that he hasn't been training as hard as he was for the first fight because he's been away from the sport, but he feels that will benefit him. You've been able to get here at essentially the only and final part of the camp. Comparing him to the first fight, do you think he's justified in thinking, hey, being fresh is actually as good as going through an intense camp once in a while?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it either way. He does definitely look at it right now. I think his body's never felt healthier because he had the surgery that worked. So obviously his elbow feels great. The last camp, I think he had it taped. He couldn't even do certain things for about 6 weeks of that camp. So just not having a training camp, his body feels excellent. Obviously, you look at him, he doesn't look as good a shape as he previously does, but I think this fight will be a different fight. I think irrespective of whether the goal was to win over 5 rounds, or irrespective of whether he felt he had the conditioning to go 5 rounds, I think the game plan will be very different for this fight than the first fight.
Do you think Islam and Alex have both said, I sort of was over careful with his skills and I should have just gone in there? Do you think both of them thinking that means it'll almost play out the same, where they're both trying to be more aggressive and they're both finding a new level of basically elite skill to find that they didn't think the other one had?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think Islam felt that way because I think Islam went in super confident. I think he thought, this guy's little, this guy doesn't have any wrestling, I'm going to take him down, submit him quickly. And then I think when he felt Volk's ability to get up against the fence, that as a great equalizer in the grappling sense, I think that's what shook his confidence and maybe held him back a little bit. But I think going in, he just felt he could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
But Volks, I definitely do think, on the other hand, that he played quite a timid game early, just very tentative, very buying into a bit of the Dagestani mystique. And then he basically cracked that as the match went on, or as the fight went on. So I think going into this one, I think Islam might be going in more cautious than the first, and Volk definitely is not going to approach round 1 and 2 the same he approached the previous fight.
What do you think they think of you, the Dagestani camp?
That's a good question. I mean, after the last fight, Islam paid attention to me, came up, pretended to throw me. Then he made jokes about finishing, about escaping back control. But I look at it the other side. It's like, I really think that was a great benefit here is Islam's been doing the same Sambo training camp.
Right.
So I think if we do see him get on Volkanovski's back again, 11 days, 12 days notice for him, he probably didn't have enough time to find a high-level jiu-jitsu guy to teach him how to finish a rear naked choke.
Right. And that is an advanced move.
That is a very advanced move. Jiu-jitsu was kept out of Russia just so Sambo could thrive, but now Sambo guys just don't have that submission ability.
Do you feel that, I know you're personally invested because you're friends with Volk and these guys, but do you think really what's on the line here is your ability to go around parading the fact that you personally killed Sambo?
Well, here's the thing, right? If by some miracle Volks gets submitted, well, I'm going to see what submission it is, because let's say it's an armbar. That's a judo move.
Right.
So I don't see him as really having a path to proving Sambo is real, because there are no Sambo moves. There's only judo, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. So I really try to think. I'm thinking, what is Sambo? What would a Sambo move be? Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No one's just put any thought into it because they're scared. Because a lot of Sambo guys don't smile a lot. You know, you get a bit concerned around their presence.
You know, they did look quite surly at the presser, I thought, a lot of his Sambo friends.
Very serious, very serious. Even Hamzat's crew. We were at we trained at a local gym here, and we showed up, and out of nowhere, 30 Chechens showed up in different G-Wagons. Like,
yes.
They look through you like you don't exist, and all 30 just ran upstairs straight past us into their private training room. Very strange. It's they don't even acknowledge your presence. Like, it's like they have a look in their eyes, but it's like those guys just no time for you at all. It's crazy. Aussies, well, I'm usually smiling at people and stuff. Doesn't go down too well.
I know, because it's almost like baring your teeth at a dog with them. As you smile at them, they actually get quite angry. I've seen it play out. You know, if you had to pick a victory for Volk to get, is it the knockout, or would you love to see him get a submission just to sort of be like, I did that?
That's exactly right. So even if he wants to knock him out, I'm always just throwing those hints out there. He goes to bed. I wait till I think he's asleep, and then I go whisper into his ears about different submissions.
You have that reputation of people asleep and approaching them.
Filming them, waking them up. Like, I guess Yasada woke up Volkanovski that time.
True.
I think last time I was here they did that. But hopefully that doesn't happen this time. But yeah, I hope a submission. So it would be just hilarious if it was. It'd be hilarious if it was a leg lock, because it'd be another moment in time Sambo crumbles to a leg lock.
Would they kill you before you got to the airport, or would they get you in Austin?
That is a good call. I really I've honestly just been lazy. The boys want me to come to all these press events and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, you go, you support your guy. But when you go to these events, it's oftentimes like Volks will be doing interviews, and you'll be just sitting on a couch for 5 hours. Obviously there to support. But some of these I try to dodge, and those guys think I'm just hiding from the Russians. I'm like, no, I'm just hiding from the border.
Yes. Well, Craig, thank you very much for joining me in my tub, and pass the cycle, Chief.
All right.